Today, with the help of Lao Tzu's teachings, we are going to explore 10 ways to deal with intrusive people and their nosy questions. Number 1, the white wall technique. When someone asks overly personal questions, you should respond with very short, neutral, and non-personal answers. According to Lao Tzu's perspective, this approach can save you from a lot of trouble. For example, if someone asks, "How much money do you make?" you can simply say, "Enough to live." By answering this way, you block further questions and indirectly tell them that you don't want to discuss the topic. This technique works for almost any personal question. Number 2, the mirror technique. If the question a nosy person asks also applies to them, one of the best strategies is to reflect the question back. For example, if they ask, "Why aren't you married?" you can reply, "Actually, that was my question too. Why aren't you married?" If they don't answer, the conversation ends. And if they do answer, you simply repeat the same answer back to them. At that point, they usually have nothing more to say. Number 3, the silence technique. Like many great thinkers and philosophers, Lao Tzu emphasized the importance of silence. He once said, "In silence, wisdom is found." Often it's actually us who provoke others by talking too much and sharing unnecessary information. For example, we may have a new business idea and start discussing it with nosy people, basically handing them the trigger ourselves. And it's obvious what happens next. So we need to be careful about what we say and where we say it. If someone asks a personal question, simply stay silent and smile. Most of the time, they'll understand that you don't want to talk about it. Number 4, the chase and evade technique. This technique is especially useful when someone tries to be nosy in front of a group. Instead of answering the question, look them directly in the eyes and ask, "What do you mean by that? What's your goal? Why is this question so important to you?" Ask your questions as if you're interrogating them. This draws attention from others and clearly signals that the person is crossing a line and asking for private information. In most cases, the person will either back down or freeze because they weren't expecting this kind of counterattack. Lao Tzu always encouraged patience and endurance in life, but he also believed patience should be reserved for people who are worthy of it. Number 5, the awareness technique. Lao Tzu said, "He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened." Self-knowledge is a lifelong journey, but understanding others can be extremely useful for building better relationships and responding intelligently. This technique works best with people you already know, friends, relatives, or acquaintances, because you understand their personality and intentions. Most nosiness comes from people close to us, not strangers on the street. Knowing who you're dealing with helps you choose the right response. Number 6, use humor to reduce tension. Humor can be very effective. For example, if someone says, "Why have you gained so much weight?" you could reply, "If your spouse cooked this well, you'd look like me too." Or if they ask, "Why aren't you married yet?" you can say, "Wow, I was just waiting for that sentence to completely change my life forever." This way you joke, throw in a subtle jab, and make it clear you don't like the topic. Number 7, setting moral and personal boundaries. Lao Tzu believed many social problems come from a lack of personal boundaries. Often we give people too much access, and they start feeling entitled to interfere in our lives. In many cases, we are part of the problem. If someone constantly meddles in others' lives or gossips behind people's backs, remember, they will do the same to you. You should not become close to such people. Maintain respectful but firm behavior, and if necessary, directly say, "This is personal and I don't want to talk about it." The real issue is that many of us feel embarrassed, obligated, or think that older people deserve answers. They don't. Number 8, the role reversal technique. If someone asks, "Why did you gain so much weight?" respond with, "How would you feel if someone asked you that?" By switching roles, you help them understand how rude and uncomfortable their question is. This method works for many situations. Number 9. Yes, you're right. Sometimes this method works better than all the others. If people are criticizing you out of concern, even if that concern is annoying and their point is actually valid, you can say, yes, you're right, but I prefer to handle it myself. If I ever need advice or help, I'll definitely let you know. This way, you end the discussion calmly, acknowledge valid criticism, and keep control without creating tension. Number 10. Direct confrontation. This is the final stage. When you completely give up on being polite, if nothing else works, say clearly, you are being intrusive and meddling in my personal life. This behavior is unacceptable. You can even call them out in front of others so they understand the consequences of their behavior. Yes, this may lead to less contact or even ending the relationship, but sometimes that's a good thing. As the old saying goes, when the crow leaves, the garden benefits.